Good morning. This is the July 23rd, 2026 Board of Directors meeting for the Maryland Environmental Service. It is 9:33 and we are going to go ahead and start the meeting. We do currently have a quorum. And we are going to start with the Inspire Awards. We have lots of guests with us today. I'm assuming most of them are here for the Inspire Awards. We're going to start with environmental operations.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm gonna speak up today. I'm always confused. I'll do that today. So Prince George's County, Merck, actually, I was there yesterday. We had a great event. County recognized some new technologies that we've installed there. It was a nice event. Deputy Hurst was there as well. And it just highlighted the good work we're doing there. And so today we're going to recognize some more of that good work. So we have rigid bunkers, rigid plastic bunkers in the back and other bunkers in the back that were dilapidated and need of repair and replacement. And so on March 23rd, I believe it was, 60 knob block blocks showed up to replace the rigid plastic bunker in the back. These are large, they look like Legos, actually. The large concrete blocks, heavy. And in order to get those in, basically they were blocking traffic back in the back area. And we didn't want to pull people off production. The three supervisors elected to step up and construct these bunkers so we wouldn't have to pull off anybody off production to keep running. So those three are Marcus Brooks, Devin Wilkinson, and Richard Brown. To read what their boss said, they set aside their titles to get the job done. That's not inspiring. I don't know what else it is. So thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations. Come on up. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Oh, yep. Yeah, you have a picture of you. Oh,
I'm sorry.
You came in. I'm on one side.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, open it up like a graduate.
You're gonna fit and scooch it, make yourselves. Are we close enough? I do like each other's. Thank you. Okay, it looks like the next one is a joint award between Water Wastewater and TESS.
Morning, everyone. Today we are would like to recognize three outstanding members of the Maryland Environmental Service Maintenance Division, Ryan Zackler and Manning Butt and Mark Norfolk, for the exceptional dedication, professionalism, and commitment to service. Both Ryan and Manning have each dedicated 15 years to MES consistently, thus demonstrating the expertise and reliability that our customers and facilities depend on each day.
Mr. Mark Norfolk joined MES in December 18, 2024. Previously, he served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you for your service, hoorah. And then spent 9 years working as an electrician field after completing his electrical training. After that, he relocated to the Maryland West Shore. From the Western Shore to the Eastern Shore, where he found his opportunity here with us at MES.
So Ryan, Manning, and Mark delivered an exceptional response to a major mechanical failure at Jenkins Creek Pump Station, one of 21 pump stations the MES maintains and operates at the city of Cambridge. When the station's discharge pipe is separated from the tank bulkhead piping, bulkhead fitting after hours, the team responded immediately, diagnosed the failure, and installed a temporary repair that kept the station operational and protected service continuity until a permanent solution could be completed. The team then took ownership of the challenge and found a smarter, faster, and more cost-effective path forward. Instead of relying on outside contractors quoted at $4,500 to $5,000, they completed the repair internally while maintaining safety and quality standards. On April 3rd, 2026, they coordinated with the City of Cambridge Department of Public Works, used ditch witch equipment for controlled soft excavation, safely exposed the discharge line and bulkhead fitting, removed the failed components, and completed the permanent repair in approximately 5 hours with only $250 in materials. The team saved the city more than $4,000 and delivered a standout example of initiative, technical excellence, customer service, fiscal responsibilities, environmental stewardship, and outstanding achievement. So help me.
Okay. No,
I had it right. Guys, thank you, sir. Appreciate you guys. Pardon me. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, right?
Yeah.
All right, nice to meet you all.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And next we have another water wastewater project.
Good morning, everyone. So today we would like to go ahead and honor Zachary Sholin and Ronald Adams. They are currently held up right now in the site, so Mr. Tiff Bradshaw is going to be receiving the award for them. To highlight, Zachary began his career here at MES in 2022, starting in the Dundalk Marine Terminal, and then he was transferred to Charlotte Hall Veterans Home. Ronald Adams began in 2023 at Charlotte Hall, and at the time they were both assisting in the capital improvement projects at Charlotte Hall and Point Lookout State Park. So to talk a little bit more about the award, both of them demonstrated extraordinary commitment and teamwork during a equipment failure at Charlotte Hall wastewater treatment plant in January of 2026. This began on the 13th of January, where the affluent pumps required routine checks and reset to keep the plant operating. The team worked a 24-hour rotation to maintain operations and prevent overflow. This continued till January 29th. So they were doing a 24 rotation, making sure that the pump was working correctly. During this time, they developed routine checkpoints. They went ahead and looked at the pump rotation patterns that allowed the damaged affluent pumps to reset while still keeping the facility operational. Their dedication, teamwork, reliability, and outstanding service in this emergency situation demonstrates not just the pride that we have within water and wastewater, but also the pride within MES to go ahead and, again, provide great customer service and keep our mission in operation going forward. So Mr. Tiff Bradshaw is going to be receiving the award. They cannot be here, but we'll go ahead and give it to them.
They got their like.
They did. Yes, they did.
Well, thank you, Tiff. Thank you. We'll take a picture. I gotta say it, please.
Maybe we can get a picture of them holding their.
Oh, there's gonna be
Get
a minute.
Any minute.
Oh,
We can get a picture of them.
All right, excellent.
Well, thank you for all of the work that has gone into
Done.
these terrific awards. Thank you to, again,
Stay
for all
up.
of the awardees.
You don't have to, but you want to come back.
Yeah.
That is your.
I know you do.
Jill, all right. Come on. Well,
Thank you again. Thank you, Ms. Norfolk.
Greg, snaps, go back to shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Back
you.
in? Yeah, you. Thanks, okay. Very good.
Okay, it is July, and every July we do the election of board officers. We need to elect a chair, a secretary, and a treasurer for this board. And I am willing to entertain any nominations or offerings.
I nominate Shelley Heller to continue to be chair.
Okay.
Second.
There's
Third, can you third?
I think it's overwhelming. I think that's the vote. But just to be fair, let's go ahead and take that up for a vote, and I obviously will recuse myself. All those in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope.
Thank you for your confidence. Next up, we have secretary. Is there a nomination on the floor for secretary? I would like to make a motion to re-select Mr. Coleman, if he is willing to accept the nomination.
I certainly am.
Okay,
Thank you.
I
terrific.
second that.
Lots of seconds.
Brendan, you and I can't go that fast at the same time.
It's a race.
All those in favor of Mr. Coleman being reelected as secretary, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Staying.
Thank you. And the ayes have it. Thank you. Congratulations. Next up is treasurer. Is there a nomination for consideration?
Nominate Mr. Batts to be treasurer of the Maryland Environmental Service.
Thank you. And I would like to second that. Unless you would, Ms. Phillip.
I'll let you do it, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of re-electing Mr. Botts as treasurer, please raise your right hand and say aye.
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 Any opposed? And the ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Botts.
Thank you.
But did Mr. Botts abstain just for a point of order?
I did, yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have deputy secretary / clerk for consideration. Is there a nomination on the floor?
I nominate Pam Fuller to continue with that.
Thank you. Is there a
Second.
second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
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 Any opposed? Congratulations, Ms. Fuller. It's unanimous. Next up, we have deputy treasurer. Is there a nomination?
I'd nominate Mr. Patel.
Thank you, Ms. Phillip. A second?
I second that nomination.
Wonderful. All those in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And congratulations, Mr. Patel. Welcome back. All right, and there is a, yes,
When we did the groups as they are now, I wanted to add it committee. And the way it went so fast, I didn't have a chance to do that, and nobody recommended me anyways. But anyways, I was coming to all these many meetings, and I think now I had enough information to do some things in a positive way if I was also a member of the audience. So how do we?
Well, we're just coming to, oh,
yeah, no, we're about trying to say the same thing. I'll fight you for it. We're looking now at the current committee assignments. We have two committees, standing committees. We have the HR committee and the audit committee. The current chairs are listed on this slide. If there is any discussion about anyone wanting to serve on a different committee or any recommendations that are different than what is listed, please feel free to discuss. And Dean Johnson, I believe you wanted the floor.
Yes, I like to present on my audit committee as a member also. The combination of the two committees are very, very important and have a good picture of what's going on and not going on that we necessarily do. So although there was one or two people already, I thought, just for my own going, I would like to do that. But that is to add as a member of the committee.
Okay, is there a number of committee members, max, minimum? Do we know offhand, or? I don't either. Okay. Is there any prohibition from a member serving on both?
You're on both.
But, right. I didn't know if that was.
I actually attended both committees, even though I was only a member of one. Is that permitted? Like, is that an option?
Absolutely. All of these meetings are open meetings.
Yeah.
So anybody can attend them unless they're in closed session, to include other board members.
If it's in closed session though, and kind of, I think to Dean Johnson's question, maybe if they're in closed session, then if I'm not a committee member, I'm not able to attend, correct?
Probably not, but it would depend on the subject matter, really, because if it dealt with something that was from the other committee, then
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Or it could be an employee that would be welcomed in. It would just depend on the subject matter.
Thank you for the clarity.
It's just no fewer than 3 voting members.
No
So-
fewer than 3 voting members. Okay, so it seems as though,
And then the chair is an issue member automatically.
that's what I was thinking.
Voting, an ex officio voting.
Voting member. So I have to be on both. Thank you, whoever wrote the bylaws. So right now, the only offering here is for somebody to not only serve on one committee, but the other committee as well. That would leave the Human Resources Committee at 5, Audit Committee at 6. Are there any other comments or nominations? Everybody that's serving on a current committee is happy with the current committee they're serving on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I suppose then,
Okay. I would, Madam Chair, move to accept the proposed list of committee assignments and chairs with the modification that Dean Johnson be added to the audit committee, as well as continue to serve on the HR committee.
okay, perfect. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, and the ayes have it. I suppose. We recuse ourselves from this one if we're on one of the lists. Nobody's left to vote, so I don't think we have a choice. Thank you, Dean Johnson, for offering to serve on both. Okay. Next up, I believe we have a list of the proposed meeting schedule. This includes the standing committees that were just discussed. If anybody would like to marry this against their schedule, and if we find any conflicts, maybe you could bring them forward. But this is, I don't believe we need to vote on this. This is just the schedule of meetings, correct? I think that's what we've done in the past. Okay, it could change. Right. Okay, excellent. So I suppose anybody that has a conflict, we can discuss that at a future date. Otherwise, it's likely that this schedule will stay. All right. Next up, we have approval of the minutes from June 25th, 2026. Those have been distributed to all of the board members. And if there are any amendments or items for discussion, please feel free to offer them. Otherwise, we will assume they are adopted as presented. Excellent, they are approved. Executive Director's Report. Welcome back, Dr. Glass.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next slide. So my MML expenses hit in the interim since the last board meeting, and there were the lodging and registration costs for a total of $2,485.37. I will add, we have the Mako conference coming up in August, so we will be there representing and
Which is always an excellent conference.
always an excellent conference. Shameless plug from them. So, just we'll have our presence there, and those expenses show up in September or October. And Deputy Director had no expenses last month. Next slide. Highlight engagement, a couple of things. Really want to highlight interaction with Charles County Resilience Authority. I should have added Charles County Director, Department of Public Works. There's a challenge for all of the administrative functions at MES to do their best to try to help out with revenue. And many years of discussions with our safety and environmental compliance chief, and she landed a nice small PO from Charles County Department of Public Works. And I want to give a shout out to her. I've been saying those words to her for many years, and she engaged, and she and her deputy are going to be doing a full day safety training, and they were under the purchase order limit, so they got a nice PO. And kudos, even though it's a small bit, every little small bit helps out. And I want to just give her kudos for that as Ms. Lanigan. And then interesting conversations with the Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission. Met with the, I think she's a general manager and CEO, and discussions of being our neighbor at Western Branch from our Prince George's composting facility. So initial engagements on just being good neighbors, and that'll continue. And then an interesting talk with the NSF I-Corps, which was out of the University of Illinois. They just wanted to know our MES's perspectives on technology and innovation. So the I stands for innovation, and bringing science and research to actual applied work in the field. So gave them some time so I could put it on the list. Next slide. Deputies.
All right. Most of the engagement this past month has been in my role. Our current role is acting managing director for water wastewater, in addition to other duties. And I wanted to just highlight Department of Budget and Management as one of those engagements, because they have reached out and asked us to provide some additional information on doing self-performed work for design and construction of PFAS systems. They've been monitoring our success with Darlington, and were intrigued enough to say, hey, can you give us some feedback on that? So that was a great response to be part of. The other part is, again, the engagement with private entities. I randomly bumped into KCI Technologies at 2 events and had some good conversations with them about potential partnering and future work, and had a good presentation provided by MRZ Solutions, which aligns with the work that we're trying to move into in our water wastewater group related to collection and distribution systems. So those are the highlights from engagements this past month.
And a couple of scratch offs for the long-term projects. Water wastewater process improvement team with deputy have concluded. We went through several meetings, going through all processes with the 3 division chiefs right now, and it was I found to be very successful. The FY 25 survey actions have been completed, and we have 3 that are continuing, but the actions from that survey have been completed from the engagement survey of staff. And we have the plan from the FY 26 survey is also completed. So we have our plan in order, and we will do our best to execute all of those improvements to the agency over the course of the year. So just a reminder, every year we have 2 surveys we put out, one which goes to top workplaces and one that is just for our internal information and feedback. I repeat to staff, I'll tell the board, we read every comment. And if there's a logical way that we can improve the organization, we put it on our list of things to execute. So we've done that. Every 2 years, this is going to be the second time, the deputy and I call every employee over the course of the year, hopefully in 6 to 9 months will be completed. And we just say to them, thank you for your work and a great FY 26. Do you have any questions for us? And have a nice day. So it's a very quick, short conversation. If they pick up, if they don't pick up, we leave a message. If we have a bad phone number, we send them an email. And so it can be a lengthy process, but I think it was very helpful the first year that it was accomplished. And we started. Actually, she started. I haven't started yet, but I'm going to start tomorrow. Have calendar time for it tomorrow. And then we started a best practice of semi-annual skip levels twice a year. Deputy and I will talk to all of our subordinates, staff, direct reports. There could be a lot of them, but give them each 30 minutes. It's a listening session. We don't have to speak. Most of the time we end up speaking anyway. But we started that, and that'll be done probably next month too. Well, this one will be done this month, next month.
Yeah.
Next slide. We had a great visit to areas around the BWI airport with some of the board members that could be present. We saw the space that technical environmental services, maintenance, electricians and mechanics and environmental specialists work out of. Got to see some great equipment and some stormwater sites, and we got to see the burn pit. I had never actually been inside the gate of the burn pit. That is filled with PFAS, by the way.
Yeah.
So firefighting foam. But it was a great tour. I hope the board members that were present enjoyed it. It was a nice hot day, and that's all I have to say about that one. But we completed our 4 board site visits to each of the operating groups with that visit. Next slide. I want to give congratulations to Miss Kathy Waters, who retired from 36 years of work at MES. She started as an office secretary and weighmaster before switching gears and becoming part of the finance team. She spent a long time with environmental dredging and restoration, and then came back after leaving with her bachelor's and master's through the tuition reimbursement. She came back and did a few years in technical environmental services. It's not listed there. She was a proud wife of an MES retiree as well. So may they both enjoy a very fruitful retirement. We will give her her glass award and her governor's citation.
Congratulations.
So we'll just applause. She can come in. Next slide. And also another congratulations and another glass award. Congratulations to Mr. Steve Freeman on his retirement after 31 years of service. He began at the Montgomery County Transfer Station. I'm sorry. Mr. Ford wanted this one. Well,
Good.
I'll let Mr. Ford add color. Played a major role in the engineering yard trim bagging operation there, and continued to advance as a supervisor down there in Montgomery County. I'm sorry, I forgot to pass the note.
Also joining his wife who retired last year.
Oh, my Lord.
Network employee Alice Freeman. So
Wow.
scale weighmaster at Dickerson.
Congratulations,
So-
Mr. Freeman.
Oh, you did? Of course.
You did.
So, congratulations to both of them. We know that retirement is another space for happiness and fulfillment, as we've seen from some of our colleagues that have left, and we wish them all the best in their enjoyment of retirement. And hopefully we can join them in the not too distant future. If we so choose. All right. Next slide. And I will successfully pass this over to Managing Director Sharma to introduce us to Media Share Solutions, who won a competitive process to perform the 5-year board assessment per our statute. Mr. Sharma?
Thank you, Dr. Glass. Good morning, everyone. So, as Dr. Glass mentioned, every 5 years, we have to go through a board assessment. We went through a competitive open bid process, and Media Share Solutions right here for the selected off-roads. And so if you would just take a minute to quickly introduce yourselves, Dr. Alvin.
My name is Dr. Alvin Yellowfort, Chief Information Officer, Media Share Solutions. We'll just be conducting the audit, getting to know everybody, doing stakeholder interviews, and we will deliver assessment.
Sorry, I can't hear. I think you're too far from the mic.
They're in
Oh,
the ceiling.
they're in
Yeah,
there.
they're in the
Sorry.
ceiling.
Dr. Alvin and Yellowfort. But yeah, we'll be conducting independent audit of, board assessment meetings, delivering the, House bill required assessment for you all, and by December. Yes.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. Dr. Scott Cady. I'll be working with Alvin. You'll hear from me for stakeholder interviews primarily, but we'll be in touch otherwise.
And so given the time constraints for this particular meeting, at least my thought was that we probably have them on the agenda for the next one, so they can just give us an overview of the methodology.
Thank you.
And that should conclude my report extends, but it's really Deputy Hertz talking about the best update.
All right, next slide. I am super happy to present this slide. So
Green is-
green is good. Yes, green is good. There'll be a much more detailed report out later this year. And I just wanted to verify and confirm for everybody that out of all of the 21 goals, 100% of them were completed by the end of the fiscal year. So kudos to the BEST committee that participated, and kudos to everyone at MES that helped us contribute to the targeted 21 separate goals for last fiscal year. Next slide. All right. So this is the slide deck for fiscal year 27. What I wanted to convey on this slide is that we have organized our program categories around 5 agency priorities. Of course, we use the first 3 pillars, safety, level of service, and education and training. And then we also have environmental stewardship and employee engagement and culture. One of the things that we also focused on was the number of goals to be very aligned with the survey results we received from the employee engagement surveys. And we determined that we would like to focus on 3 goals per category for a total of 15 initiatives in fiscal year 27. The goals themselves are intended to be practical, measurable, and agency-wide. And several of the goals are assigning responsibility to each group or operating group, and are, of course, requiring documentation of completion by the end of the fiscal year. We're also working this year on making sure that we are defining what we mean when we say group versus operating groups, so that it's clear that it is the 6 managing directors and their staff. If it's just group, if it's operating groups, then it's the 4 that are in the operations side. So we're going through and we're making stronger definitions, and we focus very specifically on creating the SMART goals. Next slide. And I know that you all received this in your packet, so I'm not going to read every single goal, but I did want to show you guys that we had a lot of fun with icons. So that's really what I wanted to convey. No, but I do, again, the goals are more focused on operational improvements, things that came through significantly in the surveys themselves from the employees. So you're going to see the themes that we also see when we're reviewing things like the employee surveys, or we're doing the phone call project or other skip level meetings. So I'm proud to say, again, let's go to the next slide. So this is safety, 3 goals there. Level of service. Again, we're focusing on how we are operating, you know, whether or not we are providing our staff with enough training and coaching around business development and how we can continue to extend our workforce into these other, be an extension of business development in their roles within these other agencies. Sometimes they're embedded, or just thinking about what the next step might be for our clients and speaking up and talking to them about it to encourage additional growth or additional self-performing work. Next slide. Education and training. I touched on this a little bit on the previous slide, where we're really focusing again on continuing to offer training. The tuition reimbursement program was mentioned when Dr. Glass talked about Ms. Waters. We also have career ladders that were developed, as you guys are aware, and some of those career ladders require certifications and training so that people can progress through their classifications and their structure within like an environmental specialist or a mechanic role. We also have, next slide, environmental stewardship. Again, 3 different goals. One of the ones that I thought was really cool that the BEST committee proposed was creating pollinator gardens, which is just a simple way to add a little bit more color, but also encourage pollinator species, which helps with the agricultural community and the overall health of the plant ecosystems in Maryland. So I was really happy to see that as a goal. Next slide. And then employee engagement and culture. So one of the things that I did want to highlight this time is the participation in diversity, equity, and inclusion activities. We are looking to continue every year to increase the participation over our previous year's baseline. So we have been taking attendance at our diversity, equity, and inclusion events. What we decided on for a metric was to try to increase it by 10%. And so that's the first slide, or the middle part, I believe. No, it's the first one. It's the first one. And then again, the continued presence of the executive and the leadership team, conducting site visits, just getting out to the staffed and operated sites by MES, and we've set a target for ourselves of 75% visits basically around the state to these regularly staffed sites. So that is 15 goals. We will have again, back up with how we are collecting the data, where the data is being sourced, and we will continue to identify who's going to be the champion within MES to make sure that we're staying on track. That's it. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
You're tall.
Tall.
That's farther from the fall.
Hey.
Well, last year's goals had at least 2 that I see that specifically addressed revenue success for the agency. The vacancy rate and raising billable labor sales. And I don't see anything that addresses revenue or funding costs in this set of goals.
So the BEST goals are also separate from what we do within our strategic advance initiatives. So we have key performance indicators around those metrics within the agency already that we are tracking. Quarterly, we would do presentations on this. However, one of the things that we are trying to focus on with the level of service here is the expansion of business development. Is it a preference for the board of directors to also have vacancy rates and revenue as a goal within BEST, or would you prefer that we present out on strategic advance?
Well, I mean, the concept of BEST, building excellence and success together, was that there would be the possibility of financial rewards to employees if they met these goals.
Mhm.
And so it just appears to me that the goals should reflect, if we're gonna pay people for reaching the goals, we should also tie them to the financial success of the agency. So that's what I think was originally intended, and I think there needs to be at least some recognition that all employees are expected to work together to enhance the economic status of the agency.
Okay.
I'm not suggesting particular wording here. I mean, you have a committee that wanted to do one, take it back and pick it around, but I think that needs to be part of the best goals.
Definitely, speak for Deputy, she'll take it back to this meeting and discuss it. We have, just so you know, though, it has become, because it's a KPI and because it's a hard line, like I just made a joke with HR that on their weekly update to us, to the executive team, that they get either the emoji that has the little thing that spits out confetti if we're under 4%.
Celebrate, yeah.
All right, or they get, if they're getting close to 4%, like 3.75 to 4, they're getting a thumbs up, right? And then they're getting a frowny face if it's over 4. So just over the years, like the 4% and the requirement that billability, there's another one, then there's billability at 90% if you're a billable employee. And so they have become, just like any metric, if they become part of the core, when we bring the strategic plan to you, there will be a question of whether we are given a 4% labor revenue goal again, now that Secretary Neal is no longer on the board, and if you all want that, if you want that to, the only issue with it being a KPI or with it being in the strategic plan is there are ramifications on how we manage based on that goal, right? And so, but yeah, but obviously Deputy will take it back to the committee, and that's her committee that she runs.
Absolutely.
Noodle on it.
Well, my concern was that the goals for this year, there was nothing continuing on environmental technology development. And goal 4, it was very clear, and we made an impact. But we were only able to make that impact is that we were working on it all the time before we could be something we could pass in. So maybe other things out there, whether you use the whether or not what mechanism you use, we should continually be looking at technology and how it can impact upon us all things.
Okay. And for your awareness, we did do a internal like vetting. There were more goals suggested that weren't presented here. So we'll look at those as well and see which ones may be more appropriate that align with the comments that you present.
Well, that kind of tells me you've got a limitation on the number rather than on the need of the entire, which means that one of the numbers may go up higher than you want 3 or somehow or another.
No, we can add.
Okay.
We set an initial target of trying not to go more than 3 per, because at times it became, because we do have the tangential KPI work as well. So we were trying not to have too much overlap. That was actually on me, trying not to have too much overlap with the KPIs, but.
And in this case of a webinar, it's easy to do that every 2 months or something like that. People, and if it's something for technology, it can go off to a group on its own. Yeah.
Okay. Any other feedback comments?
Goal 4, you say ensure 90% of any municipal facilities have recycling plants. What's the current buildings that have?
Miss Jones, I'm having a hard time hearing you on the phone.
I wanted to know what the current, facilities that have recycling plants are. They said they will increase it 90%, so what is the current?
That I don't have for you right this moment. But that is something that I can report back out to you after.
And that's critical to know because you already have 80%, so.
The distinction is that we don't own or operate most of the facilities that we're present in. So we have to coordinate whether or not there are specific break rooms available that we can put this information in, and whether or not it's a service that's being provided within the other organization's county or jurisdiction. So we have a little bit more that we're working on. This is the preliminary, I guess, draft version of what we were targeting. But I can try to find out exactly how many we have right now that have.
Okay, yeah, that would be important to know because.
Okay.
And then for goal 5, you say increase employee participation for DEI activities by 10%. What is the current? Again, when you say 10%, I want to know what it current is, and you're just increasing, it could be 0, you know, you're going, and is it
Yeah.
here, you're going 90?
You may have missed the first one that I was covering, or you may have stepped in after that. I had mentioned that we have a baseline of we do sign-in sheets for all of the DEI activities that we did in 2026, and that is the baseline, and we're looking to increase the number of folks that have attended over 2026 numbers by 10%.
And also, again, the last item, will visit 75% of regularly staffed operating sites. What is the current sites you visit?
Again, that's related again to the number of sites is approximately, I think we had come up with 70 per consistently staffed, but I don't have that number. I'm not confident in that number to give you that number today. These are all the things that I think I might have said it initially
It
that
says regularly staffed, so MES staff are in there.
I'm saying I don't know the number of regularly staffed facilities currently. That is something that we're doing on the BEST committee is still working through. So we need to nail down the number, and we were putting together the summary of what the definitions are for how we're defining group versus operating group, how we're defining regularly staffed facilities falls into that category too. And we're coordinating with both HR and the different operating groups to determine whether or not that qualifies as a regularly staffed site. We don't have a current definition that we're working from. So those are some of the, I guess, the sausage making details that, and the reason for us saying 10% increase or 75%, because we don't have an exact number to go to right now.
I would think all of your treatment plants are regularly staffed. That would be pretty easy to just know.
We have over 200.
We have over
We
200.
have small plants, so you have to get there, so we have circuit riders. So someone might go to 4 or 5 plants in a day. We have approximately 36, 37 plant facilities with over 10 people.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know what metric they're gonna use, but.
Right.
Same with the recycling, it's only a few. Okay.
We are one of the highest recycling state agencies. We blow it out the roof every time, so.
And I think the other part there is the inclusion. So we're looking to have the recycling placards in those areas in both English and Spanish too. And they're not always in multiple languages. So that's the other piece of that too, is to extend it to reach more of our staff, because we do have a lot of staff members where English is not their first language.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Madam Chair, I had a question on our process here.
Yes.
It sounds like there's a subcommittee working on this. The BEST committee, I think is what Deputy Hertz called it.
Yes.
And these are preliminary, and you're seeking comment right now. What's the process to finalize these?
This is the first presentation to the board, and the board will vote on them at some point, but if it takes 1 month or 2 months, that's fine. And then we move forward and try to execute the goals for the year, and you're presented later, you're presented at different points in time in the year updates, and then they are connected to, once we get through financial close, the fact that we hit 100% of last year's goals is connected to your decisions on the best program.
Okay. And when would we need to vote on these by?
It's not overly critical other than executing it. So, as long as we get it done, maybe by the end of the quarter, gives us enough time to make sure that we meet the goals. But if we went into the second quarter, that'd be fine too.
Okay, well, I want to think about it a little bit more. I think I'll have some additional feedback, but it probably won't be today.
There's no need for a vote today at all.
Okay, great.
This is just to present what we've come up with so far, so.
Okay, perfect. That's helpful.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to Darlington. We are back to Darlington, I should say. Mr. Patel.
Good morning. You
Good
have
morning.
3 pages of resolution and about 7 or 8 pages of biennial update for the Darlington Service District. I'm gonna summarize that in 2 slides, but feel free to ask me questions anytime during that presentation. First slide. So resolution number 26071R is, as I mentioned, is in your package. Darlington Service District 10th Biennial Update was presented to the board by Dr. Glass in Board of Directors meeting on February 26, 2026. It was decided to present it to the community for public comments during that meeting. The sampling conducted found PFAS levels exceeding EPA and ND regulatory. MES is currently planning and evaluating a PFAS treatment system. So according to section 3108 and 3128 of the annotated Code of Maryland Natural Resources article, we are required to give a notice for the hearing, and it was published on May 27, 2026. A hearing was held on June 11, 2026 at Hartford County Public Library. None of the residents showed up for the hearing, or we did not receive any comments to this plan from the residents. We also informed the Hartford County Council and Hartford County Department of Public Works. They had 30 days to respond to this plan. We did not receive any comments. So as presented in the biennial update, the rates in the following table will be effective on July 1, 2026. Prior to February 26 meeting, there was a discussion to lower the percentage increase per year to the residents for the water bills. So as you see in the table, the annual increase from previous year is limited to 2.97 to 3%, and it will still provide for taking care of the PFAS removal system. So this is a very reasonable increases, and it was already presented to the board, and it was agreed upon. At that time, there was no resolution to approve it. Now we have followed all the steps required for the implementing these rates. We will ask you to adopt this resolution. And if you have any questions for any of this, I'll be happy to answer those.
I just want to confirm, but what we're seeing up on the screen is the same as table 3 in the
Correct.
plan.
That's correct.
Those numbers are the same.
That's correct. That came directly from.
Mr. Patel, first of all, I want to say that's excellent. We saw this last year and this is a very nominal increase, so great job in doing that.
Thank you.
And I know US EPA just passed new PFAS regulation, so get that will be taken into account as well. But I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
That nominal increase.
Dr. Glass was involved on it, the water wastewater engineers were involved on it. It's a long-term project. And if like the EPA regulations change, we will take into account. The requirement is not until fiscal year 31 almost, so we are starting way ahead. And we will take into consideration the EPA regulations, what we need to do, say next year, 2 years from now, besides what we have planned for it. This is already provided to the Darlington citizens. We will stick to these rates. So thank you for the confidence. So now, if you don't have any questions for it, I request you that, that you vote and adopt this resolution.
Okay, so we are, unless there are any other questions, we are looking for a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and the ayes have it, Mr. Patel. Resolution 26-07-1R has been adopted as presented.
Thank you.
Moving on to procurement. Good morning, Mr. Graham.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. Environmental dredging and restoration. Cox Creek Dredge Material Containment Facility hauling. Kelly's Trucking LLC. The original amount is 92,000. The change order amount is 800,000. Will bring the provide total of the contract $892,000 with the MBE goal of 30%.
Okay, is there a motion for adoption of this item?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Dean Johnson. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving this contract, please raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passed unanimously. Number 2.
Technical and Environmental Services Group, Maryland State Energy Plan Modeling, Forecasting and Report, awarded to H-On Technical Services Inc. An amount of 600,000 with an MBE goal of 32.9%.
Yes, Ms. Jones.
Madam Chair, for the record, I would like to abstain or recuse from this.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion for approval of award of this contract for number 2?
I'll move for approval, but I also have a question.
Okay. Great. There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Coleman.
What is the Maryland statewide energy plan? Is that supposed to be a plan for the entire population, or is it just for how state government deals with energy needs?
I have my expertise, Heather Enos Graves on there. She can answer all those questions. Heather.
Good morning. It's predominantly for the Maryland Energy Administration to get an understanding of what the current baseline energy supply and demand is. Also to understand what potential new supply and demand would come into effect, how their current policies may impact the new supply and demand, and use that information to inform overall policy for the state of Maryland and to provide additional information for the other state agencies and state government as we are currently looking at the affordability and sustainability of our energy system.
Thank you.
Secretary Flora.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, this one really caught my eye. First of all, I'm really excited to see this is happening. But Heather, do you know if the modeling is just the forecast and scenarios, or is there any, in terms of the scenarios, it says forecast scenarios for energy supply. Do we know anything about the scenarios in this contract?
I would have to dig in to get all of the specifics for that.
Mhm.
They're looking at the moment, 6 different scenarios. And my understanding is after the initial plan and the initial modeling is done, and there's been some time to evaluate and understand that initial part, that follow-up scenarios would then be explored.
Okay, so the contract is with MEA, correct?
On behalf of MEA, yes.
So there's an MOU. I just want to make sure I understand the process here. There's an MOU between MES and MEA, and that MOU basically enables MES to then go through was there an RFP for this, but to go through it's 2 questions really. For MES to enter into a contract with AECOM, and was there any type of RFP process or anything? How was the decision made to go to AECOM?
We're using the AE shortlist as the procurement method.
Mhm.
And AECOM has done other work. They are actually currently supporting MEA on the data center impact analysis,
Mhm.
which is meeting the requirements of the SB 116 Data Center Impact Analysis and Report Act of 2025. And they're leveraging that information and that work that they are already doing to help inform and to build upon for the Maryland State Energy Plan.
So there was no procurement. There was an existing short list of qualified providers, basically, is what I'm hearing. And
Yes.
then who actually is the contract manager overseeing AECOM?
That would be myself.
That would be you. Okay.
On behalf of the MEA contracts.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I think this is good. I mean, the work is critical. I totally agree with the work that needs to be done because this has not been adequately done for the state of Maryland. I would just be personally, and as secretary, interested, I sit on multiple commissions. I'd be just interested in the actual details of the scope of work on this one. I have a strong energy modeling background, so I'm just curious about how this is actually getting deployed. But the director of MEA I know is very, very engaged in this, so I'm sure she's done it well. Okay, I think that's the only questions I had. It just is one that really caught my eye just because of my background and interest from all the other commissions I'm on. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Okay, hearing none. All those who are in favor of awarding this contract to AECOM, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it with Ms. Joes abstaining. Number 3.
Environmental operations, Maryland Correctional Institution, Hagerstown. The contractor is Carroll Independent Fuel Company at an amount of $3,399,194 with 35% Indigo.
Okay, is there a motion for procurement item number 3?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Great. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor of approval of awarding a procurement item number 3 to the selected vendor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Number 4.
Environmental operations, Montgomery County, Montgomery County Yard Shrimp Hauling, Consolidated Commercial Services LLC, with a change order of $200,000, which brings a revised contract total of $3,850,000.75 with an MBE goal of 30%.
Okay, is there a motion to approve procurement item number 4?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
Just a couple, just for the state of the, just for the record, I think that the dates on the modified term are backwards, 26, 23. Is that, or is that saying it's from the 26th in 2023 to the 24th of 2026? On the slide?
Oh,
I'm just making sure I understand it. So it's got 3-year, each renewal term is a 3-year renewal term?
So I can help you with this. This is not a renewal. This is adding funds.
Oh, I can't hear.
I'm sorry. So we're doing here is adding funds to this contract. Just for context, the contract is to haul leaf grow from where we grind it at Durwood to the Dickerson composting site. When we awarded the contract, the estimated quantities are based on the county's estimate of how much material they can haul by rail versus truck. We handle the trucking piece of it. And because the estimated quantities changed, the amount of trucking increased over above what the county could handle by rail. We need to add funds to this contract.
Got it. Okay, that's helpful. And then, is there a strategy in place for the selected contractor to get their performance up to the goal?
I spoke to Mr. Barnes. He was satisfied with where they are now, and we'll continue to work with them to get the goal up another couple percent, well, 1.5%. Continue that performance, but they're fairly close. He considered them to be in conformance based
In
on
compliance.
in compliance, I'm sorry, but we always continue to work with those vendors to see. Particularly when we change the estimated quantities, that becomes a bit of a burden for folks sometimes because the percentage doesn't change, the dollar amount does, right? So we try to work with them to meet that goal.
Okay, excellent. Those are my questions, Madam Chair.
okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ford. Yes, Ms. Jones.
So this original contract was in 2021 and you had 3 optional renewal years. So this is the last renewal?
But we're not renewing.
This is a change order, okay.
Yeah, the funds for change order. correct.
So this would go out to bid again next year?
It will go out to bid again. This is the last, yeah. It's and beyond the option years that are in the contract.
Okay, any other questions? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of approving change order number 7, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the ayes have it. Number 5.
Information Technology Administration, Workday annual subscription, training and implementation. The renewal, this is renewal number 2 at $2,009,506, which brings the total revised contract of $7,466,607. And there's no MBE goal for this.
Okay, is there a motion to approve renewal number 2 for Workday?
So moved.
Thank you. Second,
Second.
questions or comments? Yes, Dean Johnson.
Two things. Number one, have we measured the increases that the performances have required, have happened over the period? This is third year. What things have they done that have been good to get things better year with Workday?
Mr. Patel and Mr. Sharma, did you comment?
So the question is, what things have been done to improve?
Well, is it worth us increasing it?
So this is a critical system for us. It's our human capital management system. This is what tracks our timesheets. It takes care of people onboarding, offboarding.
It's also our financial management.
It's also our financial management. Also, I was getting to that, and also the procurement. Our paychecks are controlled by this system. So it's really, I would say, kind of like a backbone to help keep the administration running for the agency. What we've done to improve, we have been looking at our processes. We've been streamlining things. We're moving away from paper, and the system has been critical in essentially improving some of our turnaround times.
So basically, one could say that you are getting good results from them and want to continue.
That is correct.
I just wanted to make sure that we have some way of measuring that as we go along.
And if I may add, the state uses the Workday system as well. So since we are on the state's benefits plan, we also use it to exchange data with the state.
That is for both HR and finance, or?
Well, I want to give the floor to, I would like Mr. Patel to.
Well, I was waiting until that.
I know, but because finance also works intimately with the software package. So I think you would want to hear what Mr. Patel has to say.
So,
Please, Mr. Patel.
well, I was just waiting. So the Workday system, okay, originally we received it, then I signed 5-year extension for the last renewal. One of the biggest expense in changing the ERP system is the implementation cost. It is in millions, like 1.3, 1.5 million to change the whole system. I'm very happy with the Workday system. We have improved a lot, when we started with the basic functions, but right now we are doing almost every function in Workday. Payroll, accounts payable, billing, and it is a very robust system. It is, we can change the configurations. We are always improving that, and it has a very good audit trail. So our auditors are very happy with that. It has approval routes, who approved it, when, the separation of duties. So to answer the question, we will keep on improving that. They always sell the new modules to do add to our system. Of course, it's a separate subscription to it, but we evaluate that, and if it is beneficial, and the price wise, unless you go for a system that is not that robust, I think, since we are a long time client of Workday, we are getting, the good prices and all that. And this is the 3-year renewal. So we still have that time, if you want to change the system later or something. But I think it is very expensive to change the system, because now you're training 800 employees how to enter the timesheets and stuff like that. So to answer your question, yes, we are happy with it. We are improving. We are using extensively for almost all purposes. And this employees are trained, and I think employees like it too. So I know it's very user friendly.
I think what would help when I was reading it was what you have said in 2 paragraphs. But that could be said in 1 sentence.
Yeah.
That we're satisfied what we're doing and have been impacted in these areas and will continue to work on it. So I think that would be a way of completing it when somebody reads it and say, so this is gonna give us some more money, give it to us.
Understood.
Yes, Mr. Coleman.
Is this a flat fee, or is it based on some level of service that they have to meet each quarter?
It is like a yearly
Like
increase,
a licensing fee.
licensing fee, and yearly increase is, this amount, I think, increased the total for 3 years
Yes.
with yearly increases built in.
Because I believe the previous one was 5 years long, so
Right.
this is a 3-year extension to that.
And are we paying Workday for anything beyond these amounts? Do they provide additional services that we then get charged for?
Not to my knowledge,
No,
no.
we're not saying, but they have offered for like the contract management and all that, but that is our choice. If we decide on it, then we'll pay for it. So, but right now, this is the basic services. And general help, if you have questions, you call Workday regarding their applications, that is free. Okay, so they are helpful.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of renewing Workday through July 25th, 2029, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the ayes have it. Number 6.
Environmental Operations Group, Midshore 2 Regional Solid Waste Facility, Pearl Independent Fuel Company, Inc., in the amount of $327,600, with an ME goal of 35%.
Okay, and I am going to recuse myself from this. In an ideal world, I would recuse myself from even this one, number 6. I would even recuse myself from the discussion and chairing this item. Since we don't have a vice chair, council, do you have any recommendations? I mean, I could just move forward. You want me to just take it?
Secretary could fill in potentially.
Potentially.
I think you can go on. If, are we?
Or
I'm sorry,
just,
I was
like,
something else, are we without
chairing
a
it.
quorum?
No. I just, because I'm recusing myself from it, should I leave the vote or any idea?
I think you can still invite the vote.
Okay,
Without, and still recuse yourself.
okay, excellent. I've done that in the past. I just, there was a question that came up. Okay, so excellent. So is there a motion on the floor?
I move approval of procurement item number 6.
Thank you. And is there a second?
I second that motion.
Wonderful. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it with one recusal. And last but not least, Mr. Graham, number 7.
Environmental Operations, Prince George's County Material Recovery Facility. Change order amount is $99,993.00. Brings the revised total contract amount of $299,979.20 with a 0% MBE goal. But this was awarded to a certified MBE firm.
Okay. Is there a motion for number 7?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments?
How come they're 20 cents cheaper during this?
That's a great question. I'm not hearing any answer. I think we've rendered them speechless.
Sean.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor of approving the change order, please raise your right hand and say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it, and that concludes our procurement section. Thank you. I should say, that includes our procurement items, but we do have procurement notifications, which are contracts, purchase orders, amendments, and change orders between the amounts of $25,000 and $200,000. I'll give you a moment to look those over, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to offer them. We do have several slides.
I have a question.
Yes.
As relates to 125,441.5, which is $199,000. My question was, did you get to that number by how you could do the work and stay under, I'm gonna have them to come through us? Or was it something that was done
In
as
the,
a result of work that needs to be done? If you understand what I'm saying.
I believe I pointed this one out in our pre-board, Dean Johnson, and I assumed this question would come up, so Mr. Ford is prepared to answer it.
Sure. Based on contract, it's for wire, for our baling wire, based on estimated quantities. Obviously, if we exceeded the dollar amount, we'll come back to the board. Consistent with the.
Okay, that's what I was, if it goes beyond that, then it's driven by.
And then back to Tom, it's a slide for awareness as well, so it is in front of the board in its own right, in its own way, but. Based on. Contract. The unit price multiplied by and then quantities of that. Sorry. You know, vote for.
Yes. I think we need a special microphone for Mr. Ford. Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Coleman.
We're gonna be at some point talking with the folks from Media Share, and I think it would be helpful for the board to understand what their scope of work is. So could that scope of work and their proposal be circulated
Directly.
Okay. I don't believe I'm hearing any other questions on the procurement notifications, which moves us to the legal report. Good morning again, Ms. Carroll.
Good morning, Madam Chair. I'm gonna move for podium if you don't mind for a brief introduction.
Okay.
And invite Mr. Lavin to join. Morning, members of the board. I'm pleased to introduce our new Assistant Attorney General. This is Andrew Lavin. He's been with us just at about 2 weeks. He joined on July 8th. Andrew has his law degree from the Charleston School of Law in Charleston, South Carolina. He got his undergraduate degree, bachelor's degree in history from West Virginia University. Andrew is a veteran. He served more than 5 years in the United States Navy. He worked as a mass communications specialist. During that time, in service, he attended the Defense Information School at Fort Meade, where he trained in public affairs, broadcast journalism, multimedia production, and command communications. So he went to law school after his time in the military. And prior to joining the Office of the Attorney General, Andrew practiced civil litigation in both Maryland and the District of Columbia. He was most recently doing litigation with the Cass Legal Group in DC. Andrew grew up in Pittsburgh. He lives in Silver Spring with his girlfriend and a giant golden doodle. And despite having fallen in love with this area when he lived at Fort Meade, since he was a lifelong, grew up in Pittsburgh, he's a lifelong Steelers fan.
Like, what are we doing, guys? We're making these.
I left the terrible towel home.
He enjoys, besides the Steelers, he enjoys golf and snowboarding, spending time outdoors, spending time with his friends and family. So welcome, Andrew. Hope you have a long career with our office and the Office of the Attorney General. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you, Ms. Carroll. Old, new business. If there is any, please offer it. Okay, I don't hear any. The next meeting of MES is August 20th, 2026, 9:30 a.m. We do have a closed session on the agenda. We will adjourn the meeting from the closed session. Therefore, we will not be returning into open session today. And this closed session is closed under General Provisions, Article 3-305B3, 7, and 9, to consider the acquisition of real property for public purpose and matters directly related thereto, to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice, and to consult with staff, constituents, and other individuals about pending or potential litigation. If anyone objects to the closing of this meeting, the contact information is on the slide. And I'm looking for a motion to go into closed session.
I move that the board goes into closed session for the reasons previously stated.
Is there a
Second
second?
that motion. I second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Botts. All those in favor, please raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we will be moving into closed session.